And also focusing on the student experience a little bit more, I was wondering, I mean, you've shared some great insight into just the idea that the way we approach things and our perspective can really help us to succeed I think, in all sorts of different things. In particular to the course that you teach, or criminology in general, and how you've mentioned that the idea is to get students to learn real life skills that they'll actually be able to apply. I think that's really inspiring. So given that, what would you say is the key to success for students perhaps in your course?
Oh God, pay attention.
That's the first thing. Come on, pay attention.
Look, I give everything away. There's nothing that I hold back. And that again comes back to my work experience. I mean, why test students with a surprise at the end? You know, here's an examination that doesn't tie in. But so when I'm having a conversation, when I'm saying, get out there and do this field exercise, that ties into the field report that you've got to write.
Yeah.
As well. And it ties into the workplace further down the track.
Yeah.
If a student emails me and says, is this the right sort of case study? You know, I'll give them feedback straight away. If you're in the workplace, there's no surprises. I remember writing my first ministerial representation, you know, the first response to a ministerial representation.
Yeah.
Hand it to my director, comes back with red ink all over it. And it wasn't like a fail in life.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, that's not the way we do it. Here's how we do it.
Yeah.
And I take that in with my teaching as well. It's not like you failed. It's here's how to do it. Now, okay, yeah, students can fail, and they do fail my course, which is, you know, disappointing, but I'm not failing them.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't contacted me. They haven't spoken to me. They haven't communicated. There was a great quote I came across in preparing for this course, and it was J. Paul Getty, the American oil billionaire, set up the Getty Museum. So I read his biography because I thought this is going to be relevant, and it absolutely has been relevant. And he went to UCLA originally. Like he'd gone and worked on the oil fields. His father wanted to do that. He went to UCLA, hated it. He said people were marking rolls, were being treated like high school kids.
Yeah.
You know, the fraternities, he just said, were just immature. He just, you know, this is a guy who'd been out working
out in the field,
and he's come back in and he's saying, no, this isn't. And he said to his father, I want to go to Oxford. So his father gets him a letter of introduction. It helps when you rock up at Oxford and go to the Dean of Oxford College, and your letter of introduction is signed by the President of the United States. That will get you into Oxford any day of the week, plus a lot of money. And he was talking to his first tutor, and the tutor said to him, well, you know, you don't have to come to lectures at all. You know, if you're brilliant enough that you can pass the final examinations without attending a single lecture, I'm fine with that. In fact, I'm more than fine with that because nobody's ever done it before.
Prove me wrong that you can do it.
And I just look at that and I go, that's the attitude. You know, my dad went to Oxford.
Yeah.
I came to university as a mature adult, like I said, 36. I went everything I could get because it was just an opportunity to learn. I'm an info junkie. I'm a permanent student. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
I also am a high school dropout.
Yeah.
So I also fundamentally understand the student that comes along whose P's make degrees.
Yes.
You know, and that doesn't bother me. But I do explain to everybody that, you know, if you aim for a pass and you miss, there's only one step.
Yeah, there's only one step, and that's below.
Just think on it yourself, whether you want to engage that way or not. Yeah. So I've said to students in this course, if you show up at the tutorial, fine, great. You know, the participation is what you put in the blog. That says to me you've gone out there and you've done something, you've thought about something, you have participated.
Yeah.
And I've got plenty of people still coming along to the tutorials because they still want to learn. And I think you're over 18, you're an adult, you're at a university. It's your decision whether you want to learn or not. It's not my decision.
Yeah.
I'm here to facilitate, share my experience, point you in the right direction, give feedback and advice. And this is what all my colleagues are there for as well. I just articulate it very, very differently. I see my colleagues getting frustrated. Students haven't shown up, or they haven't turned their Zoom on, or whatever. And I'm like, so what? That's their education. They're paying thousands of dollars for this. Pick something you like.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people start criminology because they've enrolled in political science, they've enrolled in psychology, all the rest. They do a couple of crim courses and go, actually, this is far more interesting. This is far more fun. And if you're enjoying what you're doing, you're going to be more successful.
Exactly. I mean, I love the way, Adam, how you're keeping things so real, and it just sometimes for students, it's, I mean, I guess we know all of these things, but it's good to, you know, have someone else remind us every so often as well. And I think you've just summarized so many different insights that our students will love listening to. I'm just wondering, and I'm curious to find out, so you've had a somewhat a non-traditional trajectory in your life with education and dropping out of school. Would you have any tips and tricks that have worked for you that you would want to pass on to students?
Look, the key one is do what you're interested in. You know, I'm teaching a course because I've been niggling away for ages going, I want to teach a course on art. I've kind of subversively made it happen. And look, it's a little bit, you know, a friend of mine who's a bit of a Buddhist says, you know, always put it out there in the universe. If you let people know what you want, where you're going, they will help.